Welcome back to another episode of House of Aquarius podcast. It is your favorite Aquarius here. Make a wish. About to bring you another one. I know it's been some time, so I apologize for the delay. I've been doing some real big things. As I said before, I have another podcast working on for life coaching, that kind of stuff. So you want to check it out, get some more knowledge about relationship empowerment, empowerment, a whole bunch of other life-changing things. Road to success. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Wrong place. Calm mind, better results. Podcast, YouTube. Check it out. Today, we're talking love talk. Love talk. This one, I was thinking for a little bit what we want to do, but then remember, I have like 2 or 3 viewer subscriber requests. So we're going to pop off today with that one. So today is going to be Aquarian male, Virgo female. All right, so first things first, we have the masculine sign with the Aquarius, and we have the feminine sign of the Virgo. Masculine being more outwardly expressive of their feelings and thoughts. Feminine being more introverted and reserved, keeping things more inside, being more mental, thinking about things. Well, brooders. We have a air sign of Aquarius, and we have an earth sign in the Virgo. So as you guys been listening to my content for quite some time now, you know that there's a certain thing that I always like to say. Air and fire work great together. Air, fire. Water, earth, water, earth. They work best together. When you go across that boundary line, you might run into some situations, or at least in the relationship setting, you will think more of potential conflict, not things that easily get along. So we'll talk more about this in situation here. Who else we have here? We have a stubborn fixed sign Aquarius, and we have a a mutable sign in the Virgo. All right, so let's get into this one. All right, so first, in this situation, consider the fact that the Aquarian male is going to be more outwardly expressive, and then, tend to be a little more social with the doing stuff kind of situation. Even though they are actually a very introverted sign, there might be a little conflict in regards to that, because the fact that the Virgoian female will be more likely to be more reserved and not liking to do more outgoing stuff. Earth signs tend to be more practical, more stable, and like to be more at home for the most part. And I just thought about it. That's something I was thinking about 2 seconds ago. I forgot. In this regard, there's a high chance that they may or may not meet in an outgoing setting, like a club or a party, unless someone with their friends or going checking things out. But if things were to happen, more than likely, it would be a situation in regard to the Aquarian male approaching the Virgoian female. Because, like I said, the Virgoian females tend to be a little more, what's that word? Obviously reserved, but they like to hold back, and they like to be felt like someone is chasing them to some degree. Unless they're, talking strictly sun sign here, not any little placements in the chart. Oh yeah, I should probably back away so you can see my hand movements, you know what I'm saying? It's not a little creeper, like a little nugget thing, But more than likely, the Virgoian female might be interested in the activity and the expressiveness of the Aquarius male. And then the Aquarian male might be um, interested in picking up more on the reservedness of the Virgo female, which is funny because if that was to happen, especially in some kind of not at home setting, because more likely these two signs are going to meet at someone's house, someone's personal house. Um, so chances are, if that does happen, things were to start conversing, they will actually have a very, 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 very great time getting along with each other because both these signs are very intellectual. They're more cerebral. They like to think and communicate. Considering the fact that I always consider that the Virgo is the air sign of the earth signs because they're so analytical. They actually get along very well. There actually be a lot of great conversation for the most part. High level, high thoughts, and deep stuff. And that hurt my leg, sorry. And I'm trying to think past that. Well, this is another thing too, because Virgoian females tend to have a tendency to be intrigued by chaos. That is a higher chance that they will have more of a interesting dynamic towards them because the practicality of the Virgoian female and the mindset behind that completely contradicts what the sun sign Aquarian male would be thinking. Because Aquarian males are more progressive, outgoing, they're dreamers, they like to reach big and just aim for the stars. So, with that bit of intrigue, the Virgoian female might have a tendency to want to help wrangle that. Because Virgoians tend to go towards chaos because they like to put their hands into things and try to bring order to things like that. Excuse me. So with that being said, they will have that if the Aquarian male is not chasing towards the Virgoian female, the Virgoian female might be actually more interested in chasing after the Aquarian male. Because I still haven't made a podcast yet, the episode yet. I apologize. That we tend to be more attracted to the qualities that we either, one, don't have in ourselves, or they're in our chart somewhere, and we haven't addressed them yet. So 1 and 2 there. That's how it is. And a lot of the things that happen on the short term is why a lot of signs actually get into bad relationships. Because the short term it actually worked out pretty good. Because it's so interesting, it's so dynamic, it's so novel, everything is just so interesting compared to what the person is typically used to. And then we have, let's say, like the outgoingness of a air or fire sign. It seems really highly appealing to, unless it's like negatively appealing, in regards to earth or water sign, and vice versa. The quiet taint. What's that word? Not taint. Quiet. Sorry, the words like while I'm thinking my head sounds wrong, so I'm not gonna say it. But that, not timid, nothing like that. It was something else, smaller word like that. But either way, the quiet reservedness of it intrigues. It shows kind of like I have to chase you type situation. Air or fire sign is going towards water, earth sign. That's how that dynamic works. So like I said, in short term, that actually is a very great, highly appealing thing. And now that I got those two things out of the way, let's get to the potentially bad things, okay? So, One of the biggest issues that will be a huge issue further down the line in regards to Aquarian and the Aquarian male and the Virgoian female relationship is that Earth signs tend to be very restrictive. Not necessarily intentionally, like in a negative way, but they did be very restrictive to the air and fire signs. Air and fire signs to be not necessarily want to be like a wild card, always constantly going here, there, but they don't like restrictions. And of those signs, Aquarian male would be the absolute worst sign to try to restrict. And that actually would be one of the biggest devastating things to happen in this relationship. Because Virgonians like to, like I said, put order to chaos. And if the antics of the Aquarian male are deemed or viewed as chaotic or wild or unrestrained or controlled, there will be a lot of butting heads, because there will be a lot of restrictions trying to be put into place from the Virgoian female to the Aquarian male. And with that happening, the very first thing an Aquarian does is rebel. I'm not saying it's going to be like a physical confrontation or anything like that, but Aquarians and most air signs, all air signs, have the nasty moniker of ghosting, just withdrawing and, doing other things. So in the situation here, that will be a thing that wouldn't last too long, because of the fact, like I said, the Aquarian male would not like to be held back, unless, like I said, barring other placements in the chart. And another thing in regards to that is that Virgos themselves are known for being very discriminative. And when I say that word, I don't mean the negative in regards to this race to that race or this sex to that sex. No, in regards to discriminating itself, the term means very critical. And with criticism, there tends to be also a thing of judging and pointing fingers, which are two things that the Aquarian male would not want to deal with. I'm just viewing that, because everything I'm saying this, I'm not trying to use off my own personal experiences and anything like that, but I had a Virgo and a mom, and we had a rough situation over the course of my lifetime until we actually corrected things and all that good stuff. But that's another day, no story. Wait, did I tell that story already? I think I might have did. I forget. I tell a lot of stories, I can't tell. But and that's the issue right there. And because of the fact that the Virgoian female will be trying to nitpick and nag towards the Aquarian male, that's going to cause a lot of issues. Considering the fact that Aquarians are very known for being very open-minded and very easygoing and relaxed, doing whatever it is that you want to do with them, unless it directly contradicts something they personally believe in, like feel strong about. We're still fixed signs, and fixed signs are very hard to move. Shout out to my Taurian Scorpios and my Leos out there. That's how fixed signs are. Fixed signs typically, like I said, they tend to be, when something's already in place, they tend to be able to maintain it at that certain level and keep it going, or improve upon it at that level. Or not that level, but improve upon that current situation. And mutable signs, like the Virgo and female is, tend to be very adaptable to change and that kind of stuff. However, my personal experience that would be the case. Like I said, but that's actually a very, very negative in regards to that relationship there. The two negatives there, as stated. the discrimination, the restrictiveness. Plus side, if things are actually working out pretty well in regards to the other placements in the charts, there is a huge possibility for these two to be very successful in the long run, because the practicality and the organizational skills of and the restrictiveness of the Virgo and female will be able to help any random idea that the Aquarian male might be having to push forward with, or help keep things under control, not get too far out of whack, like balancing the books, organizing schedules, or other such, novelty stuff that go involved too big of the business, that kind of stuff is actually very good. That is an amazing thing, barring the other situations I talked about. So if they get past that, the actually is very, very, very beneficial for the relationship. And it's actually another thing too, because actually, it's funny, I think about this, I do know of 2 relationships like this now. And the one relationship been together for like 16, 17, 18 years. Aquarian males and Virgoan females, they're both same way in regards to they're very selective in regards to who they like to deal with in their relationships, or who they're going to call the significant other. Once the Aquarian gets in, once they fall in love, and they happen to fall in love pretty quickly, this Aquarian male will be easy to not let go of the Virgoan female. I said, well, everything else is actually working in a proper way, emotionally or mentally or whatever. And then same with the Virgoan female, they find it really hard to open themselves up and let go, because they actually both sounded very loving, and the Virgoan female just as much, but they're very selective of who they give their love to. So when they actually do give their love, they're trying to commit for the long run. So in this situation, both these signs can actually have a nice long-term, or a nice long-lasting relationship in regards to that. There may be a whole bunch of head-butting arguments. There may be a lot of frustrating nights. But they do have the possibility of, if other placements in the chart are actually working, or let's say, hypothetically speaking, they're later on in their life, things already settled. The Aquarian male is already in his nice, secure, comfy career or entrepreneurship type shit, whatever. And the Virgo female is help maintaining how things keep running. That can be a nice, beneficial relationship financially. And I don't know. It's hard to say this. Hard. Like I said, I'm still thinking about the potential, the nagging, the criticism, the restrictiveness. So, like I said, the other placement in the chart matters so much heavily in regards to this. So, I'm not going to get too much further into this. So, I'm going to cut off right here. For the most part, short-term wise, this actually is one of the couplings that can actually have a great time. Not sure if they're going out or not, or whatever it is they'll be doing in regards to socialization or partying or movies, whatever they're at. The romance, it's another thing. The romance in this relationship will not actually be extremely high. But as I said before, Aquarians tend to be more like great friends and / roommates in regards to relationships. And the Virgoan female will be more of the actual expressive person in regards to their emotions and being romantic or anything else of that nature. So she's a little more forward moving. Let's say she has like some Venus or Mars and Aries, that might be a little more forward in regards to making things happen in that romantic department. But otherwise, I wouldn't expect too high of a romance department in this relationship as well either. Long term though, that's a short term rate. Short term, like a good 65, 70, 72, 73%. They actually get along very well. Like I said, they sit down, talk, have a nice little conversation. They see how each person is very heavy in the mind, the thought conversations. And actually be very intriguing for the interest of the Aquarian would be really stoked by the quick wit and intellect of the Virgoan female. Long term, though, for the most part, this one's going to be definitely a NATO in the books. I'd probably put it in like a 28 to 32% chance for a long-term success. And that's still including the bumping of the heads and the resisting, the restrictiveness, I can't even think about what that could be like. Man, my mom ruined my life. Oh man, but no, in all honesty though, yeah. I said this has a potential to actually have its great high moments, but I wouldn't bask on this being one that actually lasts a long time without having a whole bunch of compromisations and working on maybe not the communication. Actually, maybe because the Aquarian male may not be as expressive emotionally towards the Virgoan female. And no vice versa. There. So they might need a therapist or a counselor or a life coach, something like that, to help open some things up and get them past some issues that they come through their life, But aside from that, though, yeah. Hope to help you guys out a little bit. And just FYI, I got a whole bunch of things coming up here soon. I plan on increasing output for these for the podcast in general. Like, I got a whole bunch of things happening soon, so we gotta put the things in action. So stay tuned for more. It's gonna be a interesting ride, to say the least, So that being said, my friends, stay classy. Be you. Make a wish.